Our next presentation is from Dave Sciullo. He's been employed with Golden Triangle for over 20 years. He is currently the Vice President of Construction, where he oversees all field operations on heavy highway projects. He earned his Bachelor's of Science degree in Civil Engineering from the University of Pittsburgh and is a registered professional engineer in PA.
Okay, I'm going to try to stand here and speak. I like to move around, but I'll try and stand here. So it's a little bit about this whole process. As a company, we're always looking at advanced technology. We're always looking for better things to do, how to improve products, not concrete, everything in general that we do. And it starts at the top of our organization. I mean, he instills that into us to look for innovative ways to do things. I mean, helps everybody, helps our company, helps the industry, helps the department, and I think we're trying to instill that in all through our company. So when Patty approached us about this, there was no second questioning. We were in on it all the way. We actually were partly half done with the project. We did the one side, and we were about to start the other side when we were approached by PennDOT. A little bit about the project. It's, as Patty said, it's about 5 miles long. It's a major artery from, if you're not from the area, from downtown Pittsburgh to the airport. It was built back in, I think, the late 80s or early 90s when they built the midfield terminal. It was an expressway to get to the airport. It wasn't really in that bad a shape. There was some parts that it was, but I guess PennDOT thought the best way to do that was to replace it at this time, due to the upgrades that's going to happen here at the new terminal. A little bit about the project, full depth reconstruction. It's 5 miles long, but 3.5 of it was total reconstruction. Westbound, there's 3 lanes with a 15-foot wide shoulder. That was to accommodate traffic control, to build that in half width. The eastbound lanes were 2 lanes that had a 15-foot shoulder as well. And that's a whole other presentation, how we changed all that and were able to switch traffic on and do things one side or the other, but we eliminated 3 foot of the shoulder. It was open graded, cement treated base on 6 inches of recycled concrete and on 12 inches of cement stabilized subgrade, which was also a value engineering that we did to eliminate some undercutting, and actually used cement stabilization to stabilize the subgrade, and it saved $3 million on the project. It was also an ADA-B, and asphalt had a $1.5 million advantage on life cycle cost analysis, and we still were able to beat the asphalt there, which was good. Again, approached by PennDOT in February of 2018. We were about ready to start the next phase of the project, and had follow-up meetings with the department. The department didn't want to look at new mix designs. We were seeing should we optimize our mix and change our mixes, but we were kind of up against time constraints, so they just wanted to look at their standard paving mix to see how these test results would affect their standard paving mixes. So during initial testing, PennDOT and Patty went over these initial tests, and you can see them. I'm not going to read them all, but to answer the gentleman's question about what modifications we made based on SAM results, during mix design phase, we actually were getting our SAM readings were up above 0.3, which, we never knew that. So we actually reduced our water reducer and actually got those numbers below 0.2. They say 0.25 is acceptable. We were actually a little bit below that. So it was kind of enlightening to us that we were able to make some adjustments based on those SAM numbers. In the field, again, we were a little concerned about how this would affect production in the field, but we did all our tests at the plant. The formation factor test, we just made cylinders every day we poured, and we did testing later. I'll explain that. The unit weight was done every day. Super air meter every day at the plant. We did it, so it wasn't really affecting our production on the field. the strength test samples, we made beams and cylinders. And the box tests, we've done box tests for years now, so that wasn't really new to us. We do that in the lab all the time, and we'll explain that too a little bit. Just to summarize our results, the formation factor, we were testing that like at 28, 56, and we were getting some low numbers. And again, I kind of educate myself as well on this, did some research and made some phone calls and why them numbers. But apparently, you know, as it ages, those numbers kind of grow. And we noticed like at 84 days, it seems to level off, and we got very good numbers with our formation factor. That's just the resistivity readings on that you get divided by the pore solution resistivity. Now that's a number that can be calculated, but you can assume a 0.01 ohm per meter solution. That's kind of what we did. We don't really have, I'm not sure I know how to do it. I'm sure there's people that can do that, but you can use a assumed number there. Unit weight was that 140. I was actually looking at those numbers this morning. There was only one that was that low, and I probably should remove that low number. It was only one test outlier, so most of them were right in the 143, 144 range. SAM numbers were all consistent there, under 0.2. We had one that was 0.2. Water cement ratios were good, and our strengths were good. I just got a quick funny story here. It developed here on Monday night. I got these last numbers that we did on the top there from, and engineers in the room that have teenage children would appreciate this. So my daughter secretly thinks I'm trying to get her to go to engineering school. So I'm kind of doing double duty. I got these numbers Monday from our lab. I'm converting units because the units out of the resistivity meter are kilo ohm centimeters to ohm meters. And my daughter's studying, and she's converting units. So I take these 15 values, and I give them to her to do the conversion. So she gets them all right and gets the average, and she goes, "Here, Dad, I'm done." And I said, "Oh, great job." She goes, "Dad, I'm still going to law school." So I thought I'd share that funny story. I told her I'd tell that to you. So resistivity testing. So the way this works, you take 4 readings on each quarter point of the cylinder and record them. It was a pretty easy test. We had our technician at the plant do those tests. SAM meter, again, I don't have any better pictures of us actually doing a SAM test, but it's pretty straightforward, just like a standard pressure meter. It's a little longer because there's different pressures that you have to do. Box test, like I said, we do this all the time. Not so much in the field, a little bit in the field, but mostly in the lab, just to see, you know, you can really see the difference when you're doing it in the lab. You're really not looking at the concrete that comes out of the paper like that, but you can see a difference between some honeycombing coming out of the box test and what a smooth looks like. Doesn't mean in paper it's going to look like that, but it does give you an idea. What you do, you fill it up to 9.5 inches. That's a 12-inch high box. You fill 9.5 inches. You run the vibrator for 3 seconds, back up, and then you take it apart and you look at all 4 sides and you give it a rating. Just some pictures of the job. That's looking on overview there. I was paving main line. Again, placer. We did some tests right out there by the paver. Some more photos. And our perspective here is, you know, limit field testing. I think if we can do these tests in the lab, which I think is what it's meant to be, you know, wouldn't interrupt, you know, as far as when you're doing mainline, it's constant production. You're dumping trucks every minute. You're dumping a truck, so it's tough to stop. You don't want to stop the production. Mix adjustments, you can make them in the lab, as we did based on our SAM numbers. Resistivity testing, like I said, increased up to 84 days. It seems like it's tailing off there. And as a contractor ourselves, we'd like to educate ourselves on formation factor. I know that's kind of new to us, so I know I've been doing some reading myself just to understand it all. So I'll take any questions on anything related to the project or this topic.